Warning, this podcast contains spoilers. Hello everyone, and welcome to another episode of the As Seen on TV podcast for Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Season 4, Episode 3, Uprising. I'm your host, Mike, and joining me is Clio.
Hi.
And Rachel.
Hello.
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 Mrs. Doubtfire all the way. Come on.
Every time.
Every time.
Every time.
So,
All the things
we need to talk about, like how Yo-Yo's friend is a bitch, and how blackouts suck, and how Fitz totally stabbed the guy. Hi, Jake. Wait a second. Jake, are you actually home? Because we could start this over. Anyway, how Fitz totally stabs a guy in the hand with a pair of scissors.
Oh, he has so come into his own lately.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. This episode, the fight scenes were amazing.
Yeah, they stepped up their choreography a bit, I gotta say.
Getting a little hot. Yeah, no, they were really, really cool. Like, especially, when they're almost fighting in the dark. And it's just like...
Yeah, it's like every time, the device pulses on, and it's like, whoo, whoo, it's like a really long strobe light.
Right? But no, it was amazing. Whoever's doing their choreography for the fight scenes is doing a good job. Thumbs up to you.
Yeah, I definitely thumbs up. I appreciate it a lot about this episode. Hell, even the fight scenes with Ronnie and Daisy were pretty damn good. Especially with, Ronnie slamming that guy's head into the hood of his car over and over and over again.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
I like that the car heated up and burned him. I thought that was such a great thing.
Yes.
Because, the car has the spirit in it, too.
Mm-hmm.
It's
not something they really conveyed, but then again, everything he touches, he seems to be able to heat up and light on fire.
Yeah, but at that point, he wasn't touching the car.
He wasn't, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
No, because
his car does catch on fire, so
That's true, and it survives explosions.
Yeah.
And lands wheels down. So, I honestly think there's a bit of the spirit in the car.
Yeah, that's pretty awesome. All right, so last episode we left off with May in a really shitty state, screaming, straight jacket being.
That to say the least.
Yes.
I'm underselling it. Let's just say that. So she's pretty much on the fast train to Deathville. And
oh yeah. Well, we see the other guy who got touched not an hour before her.
Yes.
Die.
Exactly.
So.
She
seemed a little bit more resilient to the visions coming on, so probably had a little longer.
Yeah, I think it's because it just, barely grazed her kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
And when they opened the box, it went through all of them. Yeah, they had more ghostly contact.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
So hers took a little while to actually set in.
Yeah. This got
theirs was almost instant.
I love that it got Coulson in a tizzy. It's got Simmons bitching someone out over the phone. I have a feed to your facility. I know she's there.
Right?
Yeah.
I have her vitals on my screen. She's not stabilizing.
Yeah.
Right.
And I respect the director and what he was trying to do.
Mm-hmm.
To not distract Coulson, to send her away to to get help, but he sent her to a CDC facility? Really?
I mean, if I was infected with some kind of horrible virus, I guess the CDC would be one of the places I want to be at.
Yeah, and I think the problem was that, Simmons was saying this to what's-his-face, that there doesn't seem to be anything wrong. There's no cause for this. nothing viral, bacteria, she went through the list, and it's like, none of it makes sense.
Because it's
Until they
not
did
any
the
of that.
3D brain
Because it's a
scan.
ghost.
It's a
We still don't get an answer.
ghost.
All they did was shut her brain off and then turn it back on.
Yeah,
We didn't really get an answer.
I have a feeling we're going to be getting it within the next 1 or 2 episodes.
It was a very Star Trek-y kind of solution, It's like, we got to think of this like a computer. We just got to turn it off and back on again. And we're going to do that by modifying the deflector dish. Because that's how they solved every problem in Star Trek.
Well, what's the British guy's name?
Dr. Radcliffe?
The Radcliffe. Okay, so, and I mean, Radcliffe has been literally working on a person who is a computer. So that, seemed to be the perfect logical step for him.
And he had the brain scanner thing.
And
head bobber.
I mean, it was the whole fact that he had an experimental power core for her. I'm watching the scene. I'm like, oh great, yeah, they're leaving her unconscious and dead for a certain amount of time. And as soon as they go to shock her, the power's gonna go out.
The power went out. I was
It's
like, no.
really
Yeah, I know. It was the
obvious.
literal second.
I was like, no, you can't do it. You're not going to lose May. Sorry. No, no.
Nope. So, Watch Dogs are stepping up their game. And
they have help from the inside.
Oh, they're getting help from who the hell knows where.
Well, we know that lady. I'm sorry. I know I'm skipping to the end, but that lady at the end, which we see her twice in TV interviews.
She's a senator.
Before the end. Oh, she's a senator. Okay, I didn't realize. Because she was on the right side of the screen, which is usually the interviewer.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, they said they're at the end. The news broadcaster said senator, whatever her name is.
Okay.
Yeah, it had it across the bottom of the screen.
Those news segments were completely unrealistic, because everyone knows when you put multiple boxes of people having a discussion, they're always yelling. And she was talking very calm and softly, and I'm like, no way, nuh-uh.
Yeah, there's no way. People always get into arguments.
She was
always yelling.
Well, when they showed her, I think they showed her last week too, and then they started showing her this week on TV. I was like, there's something about her, something I don't like.
And then at the end of it, it's just like, yeah, and there's no shit, you don't like her. But
well, who's her brother? That's what I want to know.
And who's her brother? And is he stuck in the inhuman transition, or did she figure out a way to stop it while it was happening, or what the hell is going on there?
Mm-hmm. He's been that way for months, obviously, because all of his letters and mail has been stacking up in the house, and they have, stacking up. There was piles.
And she's talking to him like he can hear her.
Maybe he can.
She's also talking to him in a way you would talk to someone who's been in a coma for a while. It's almost become natural. That's how you talk to this. Mm-hmm. This person's been in this state for a while, and that's how you.
She sounds very condescending and sarcastic to him.
It's it's kind of a cliche thing. Oh, look at what this inhuman shit did to my brother. I'm gonna exterminate all of them.
Kind of like X-Men and the Senator, that he turned into a goop.
Yes, until she turned... Well, clearly she doesn't take fish oil. Or she, we really don't have a definitive answer on how it works, being genetically predispositioned or anything like that.
Yeah,
but I imagine...
if siblings, if one turned, wasn't the other one? Because they're siblings, if they have the same blood, then...
yes, but... it's about, I think it's about prominent genes.
If it's one single prominent gene, then it is possible that one sibling gets it and the other doesn't.
So that's the comic book Ms. Marvel. She's inhuman, but none of the rest of her family are. Mm-hmm. And her town was covered in the mist. So her family technically should have turned if they were.
Or maybe they have it, but just not as won't be switched on, basically.
Yeah, exactly. It's a dormant gene as opposed to a.
Mm-hmm.
Just
however that sciencey shit works.
Well, just like someone that has breast cancer. If you have breast cancer in your family, at more risk to get it. Not saying you are going to get it, but you're just at more risk.
Yeah. So,
but they don't know that they have this gene.
No, they don't.
That's the only problem until they turn to stone.
All right, so we jumped around a bit here, but this group claiming to be the Inhuman Resistance, they are. See, this one's got me. Like, they're claiming to be the Inhuman Resistance, and like I get where they're coming from. They want people to start targeting Inhumans and killing them. So, like, hey, we're gonna pretend to be Inhumans, and we're gonna hold you hostage with blacking out major cities.
Yeah. Well, it's also not maybe getting. They probably didn't. Their goal probably wasn't to get normal people to go out and kill Inhumans, but it is to get public opinion to sway against Inhumans, and also provide a cover for them to go in and.
Well, I think her thing
and
was
to flush them out.
If this start like this, then they're like, she can be like, see, look at what they did. They started this riot. They started, everyone's freaking out kind of thing. She could point a finger at Inhumans and say, look what happened. They started this.
Right.
They started everyone freaking out and stuff. Yeah, they started the looting. Yeah, that's what happens.
Yeah, they started, the looting, which, of course,
that happens at any time. Anytime there's a riot, people go, "Oh, I need this big screen TV for justice." It doesn't make any sense.
Yes, for great justice, I'm going to rob my electronics store.
I need these 15 pairs of shoes because I'm angry of that court.
Anyway, back to what we were talking about here. They get their whole. They're doing this with some really fancy EMP generators that put out an EMP pulse every couple of seconds. And I'm by no means an expert. This is definitely some sci-fi, comic book bullshit, because I'm pretty sure EMP doesn't work that way.
No.
And the power source you would need to put out a continuous pulse, a rotating pulse that big would be, huge.
Well, I mean, I think the bigger problem would be because once you use an EMP, because the device has to be on to use.
Not necessarily. An EMP can induce, an EMP can induce a current in any electronic circuit. It doesn't have to be switched on. I mean, a lot of, it would probably help. But, I mean, it's just, switching it off helps, definitely. But it's damaging to electronic equipment.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Mike and I had this little discussion before the show.
Yeah, I'm like, I'm sitting down, I'm writing notes for this show, and I'm like, okay, they use an EMP device. Type, I go, is that how EMP works? Would that really do that? I don't know. Yeah. 25 minutes wasted in Wikipedia searching how EMPs work, naturally occurring, weaponized versions, and, all this shit. And I'm like, oh shit, I gotta call them on Skype in 2 minutes. What the hell am I doing?
Well, and then I said, well, them being funded, I guess funded is the only word we can really, are backed by, obviously a government agency or government, obviously we know she's a senator, possibly has access to, let's say S.H.I.E.L.D. grade technology, which isn't necessarily, the technology the public knows about.
But I mean, like, basically the thing I took away from my research is the general public doesn't know how an EMP works because Hollywood and pop culture has completely distorted how it's properly working. So what we're thinking of isn't actually how it works, but I didn't have time to keep going into it. But
hey, it's a superhero show, so
exactly.
There you go.
And I know it was kind of weird because, the Fitz, Coulson, and Mac, they're driving down the street and it's lit, and then they cross like this invisible boundary, and then their car dies, including Coulson's hand. It's like, yep, there's a problem here.
Because what helped me? It's stuck in a claw.
Yeah.
I'm stuck on the steering wheel.
It's the claw.
Yeah. And I love when it comes back on and he's like, oh, thank God.
Finger movement.
But it was in the perfect position to be used to punch people.
That's true.
Very true. You couldn't use his laser beam though.
He did use it to punch people out.
He didn't need it. Fitz had his trusty scissors.
Yeah, Jesus.
Mm-hmm.
But, Fitz was like, well, doing it old school, unwrapped his like paper and pencils. They're like, what?
No, as soon as he was like, no, I need the corks, I was like, we making compasses.
And I love that. He's like, really, guys, this is rudimentary, like, grade school science. What the hell?
I know. I love the fact that they thought he was going to drink.
Yeah. Well,
Really?
I mean, I wouldn't fault him for it.
I know. It would be a perfect time to drink if there was ever a time to do it.
It would, yeah, but, I mean, that was pretty awesome. It's like, yeah, I'm going to do a bunch of compasses and triangulate stuff.
Like,
and
I need needles, water, and water. They're just looking at it like, what?
making compasses. Like, really?
There's lots of those little things, and it was so stupid. The guy who ratted out the magician, I was like, are you freaking stupid?
Even the guy says, like, it's a sleight of hand. It's a sleight of hand, you idiot. Like,
I know, right? He said that he
Yeah.
do it. He has powers. Yeah, it's called doing magic. Do you not know what this is?
the guy puts a gun on him, and the gun disappears. Like, see, he made the gun disappear.
It's like he made a party, a fruit cocktail umbrella.
Yeah.
Woo!
And took it out behind the woman's ear.
I
and
know.
Like,
It's watery. Sorry.
he's performing magic for you drunk idiots. Of course, it's not an actual superpower.
Yeah, and I mean, yeah, of course, Yo-Yo's disarming them, dropping them into the plant, which is hilarious. I mean,
Her friends are the worst.
especially
I know.
her
They are
friend.
the bride. Oh yeah, can I kick her in the white butt?
Please, because like really, it's like, oh my god, how are you doing that? You have a gun. Oh my god, like we're friends, and now we're not.
Oh my god,
because
that's her. Her other friend
Ewy.
ratted her out. It's her.
Yeah.
It's her.
Yeah.
It's
like seriously.
You're ewy.
Like, we have to walk down the stairs in heels. It's like, yes, woman up. Jesus Christ.
Well, and the fact that I want to go out there and find my fiance. It's like, are you fucking insane?
Idiot.
Of course, I know girls that would have done that. And it's like, really? Okay, you're in a blackout. You're in a fairly safe place where you are right now.
Yeah, they should have stayed upstairs. They would have been safe.
It's like horror movies, Oh, I hear a bump down in the basement. Let's go investigate in my heels.
Yeah, I'm gonna go down to the dank, dark, possibly haunted basement in the middle of the blackout with this really, shitty flashlight and a piece of, a stick.
Mm-hmm.
I'll be right back.
It's like all the stupid things. Oh, and then she's like, I mean, I know Yunya was like, he would probably want you to stay put. He went, no, I have to go find him. Why do you have to go find him? What are you going to do when you find him? Are you going to save him from someone? What are you going to do? Nothing.
In your heels.
In your heels. And your bride sash.
Take a page out of Fitz's book and stab him with your high heel.
Actually?
It works.
Actually.
I don't think she would have. I think
not
she
a bad.
No, this costs too much. She seems like that kind of girl. These cost too much. I don't get out of the way.
Yeah. So, S.H.I.E.L.D. now comes out of the closet. The proverbial closet here. I mean, hey, they've been holding it, they've been keeping it hush-hush. They have this big plan, this big reveal all set up, and, one PR drone there is like, oh my god, this is going to be a public relations nightmare. Like,
I thought Mac was going to smack him.
I really thought Mac was going to deck him.
He's like, dude, shut up. That's what you're worried about now?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Of all the things you're worried about.
Yeah, right. So, big reveal, like, an old friend is like, that was the most awkward press conference I've ever seen.
Right.
Like, really, dude? Seriously?
Well,
an old friend is coming to visit.
Yeah. Yeah. But here's the thing. He said he was a straight shooter and he was gonna shoot straight. And then didn't tell people he was an Inhuman.
Nope.
And I was just like, that's gonna come back and bite you when they find out, because, you are on a list. Guess what? You're on a fucking list.
I bet you he's not on a list.
How would they get away with that?
Because he's on the inside. I bet you he's not on a list.
No, I bet you he's on the list. The whole point is for everyone. And the thing about Civil War is that the high-profile people also were going to be on the list. Like, that was
I
what...
just have a feeling that he's not on the list, because if he was on the list, that bitch would have probably been targeting him.
Who says she's not?
And also, who says who has access to that list? Do you think the U.S. Senate would have access to that list? I don't know. I mean...
Well, obviously she does, because she knew where was it? They killed 17?
She might have...
Well, no,
yes.
that's 17. Because her crony, called her and said, we killed 17.
Yeah. She might not have access to the whole list.
I have never actually run for or been elected to Congress, so I don't know what level of classified information they have access to, but I don't think it's much.
Don't know. She could have pulled a couple favors. She seems like the type of person that would be like that. I got a favor, kind of thing. Give me this. And I don't know. There's something about her that's just...
No, I mean, I don't think...
She's got those dead shark eyes.
I mean, they couldn't put that kind of information in anybody, especially a public face like that. The president is not going to go spouting off the names of people on that list. I mean, it's a whole part, wasn't it supposed to, the list is only for government registration, it's not going to be made public or anything like that?
Yeah.
It's just so...
But I found weird about the end part when he was saying, we're here to protect you from, it wasn't the Inhumans who did this. It was someone trying to frame and blah, blah. And she's going on the record saying, I have proof, or I've been told, that it was the Inhumans. It's like, okay, you're the only one coming out and saying this, that you have on authority. Well, who told you? If someone told you, I'm pretty sure they would have told other senators, and they would have been coming out. So it's kind of like pointing arrows at her. That's what I like.
Don't want to draw the line to reality, but that's what actual senators do.
Yeah, I know.
A senator can spew any bullshit.
Yeah. I think, oh God, was it John Oliver that did a segment? It's like, if you speak your opinions enough times and loud enough, it becomes fact.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, it's almost, by her saying that, it's almost painting a target on her back for them to look at her as a suspect. So it's like, it doesn't make any sense. So either she is trying to make herself enough of a suspect that she gets in somewhere, or I don't know. It seems like she has some kind of weird motive.
I think she's just trying to say it enough so that people take it as fact.
Yeah. A lot of congressmen, you see it in both houses, actually, House, Senate, but I mean, there's more representatives, so you'll see it more, I guess, from that side. But they can get up there on TV and say whatever the fuck they want, and the people that voted for them are going to believe every single word they say, no matter how much bullshit it is. And,
unfortunately, yeah.
I want to say, unless you present them with cold, hard facts, and unfortunately, 60-something% of the time, that's not even going to work.
Mm-mm.
So...
You don't need facts.
Exactly. So she could say whatever the hell she wants. I have it on good authority. Who's going to question her? Really?
Mm-hmm. S.H.I.E.L.D. I know Coulson would have, if he heard that.
Oh, yeah.
He probably would have been like, oh, excuse me?
But then it's her word against theirs.
I know, but I have a feeling that Coulson and the team are going to catch on to her really fast.
Mm-hmm.
I think they're going to be like, this is a little coincidence. She was here at this point and at this point, and she commented on that. There's something. Yeah. Let's connect the dots. Yeah. And for some reason, she's not making herself. She's not playing in the background. She's putting herself right out there in front for some reason.
Because she's trying to get people.
Well, I feel
like we're talking in a circle.
No, I understand that, but there's always a reason There's always a reason behind putting yourself out there in front. Is it because you're going to be reelected soon, or is it for some other reason?
Yeah, in her case, I think it's... I mean, I want it to be for another reason. Like, right now, I'm seeing I feel like I've seen it 100 times in cinema and TV shows. It's like, this thing has hurt a family member or a close loved one, so I'm going to eliminate it from the face of the earth. Like, I have power, I have political pull, So now it's her.
Maybe she's trying to figure out a cure, I guess, quote unquote cure. Seeing who has a cure for this, I don't know.
But she was also being very condescending to her brother.
Yeah, she was. She was very condescending and like talked down to him and stuff like that. Even though he was just
he's effectively a statue.
She's got those cold, dead shark eyes, like I said.
I know her.
She even speaks in this weird monotone.
I can't put my finger on where I know her from.
Well, I will look up the actress and see where she's from right now.
She looks very, very, very
as
familiar.
we keep going with
yeah.
Oh, that's what I wanted to mention. This close, Simmons, to finding out that Radcliffe is making, effectively an android.
Yeah.
A sex bot?
I honestly thought he was gonna bring her out.
Right.
Because didn't he say she had like medical capabilities? Like, I thought he was gonna bring her out and have her shock.
I
thought so too.
I'm not sure. So the actress is from The Blacklist, and she's been in a few episodes of Psych and Alcatraz TV series, if you watch that. She was also on ER how many years ago?
Oh, I watched ER a lot, so that might be where I've seen her at.
I don't know. Anyway, back to what we were talking about. Yeah, didn't he did mention that she would have, like, emergency medical training or better.
Something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And she's programmed.
Maybe it's not programmed all the way yet.
Yeah, I mean, he's still working on her and everything. I thought he was going to bring her out and she was going to, make lightning erupt from her fingertips or something.
No, he just used her heart, basically.
Pretty much. It's like an experimental power device. Whatever.
He used her green heart.
May wakes up, gets hugged from Simmons, like, did I miss something?
She wakes up and she's like, what is going on here? She's all tied down to the bed.
And, like, she actually...
Get these things off of me!
Like, get these things off of me! And then gets hugged and jumps, like, why are you touching me?
But she did. I mean, she couldn't even get away. Simmons was, like, bear hugging her.
she, like, death grip hugged her. Like,
It was hilarious. So May's face was like, what the hell just happened? Like, what? What's going on?
Yeah. Oh, the other thing I wanted to mention is we got a little more introduced to Robbie's brother. And he tells Daisy to stay the fuck away from my big brother.
I like him. He's very smart.
He's very smart. Oh yeah, he's smart. He's intuitive, and he's bossy.
Oh, we know how he got into the wheelchair as a gangbanger. Whether or not he was in a gang or going to be in a gang, or he was just a bystander, we don't know.
Right. It could have been any of the above.
Any of the above.
With the way his personality is, I think he might have just been an innocent bystander.
Bystander, yeah.
Yeah. And, he figures out pretty quickly that she's Quake. And she threw a guy through a back of the car. She, like, blasted a guy into a truck. Yeah, he saw it happen. There was no...
God, her arms are so...
That's what I wanted to mention. Those are some gnarly fucking arms.
Oh my god, yeah. She's got fractures all up. Like, it's past her elbow, too.
Fractures and bruises and...
Well, the bruises are from the fractures, not being set.
Basically, she's just slowly vibrating her arms off of her body.
Yeah.
I mean, eventually she's gonna, throw a blast big enough and, like, probably shatter her arm off at the elbow or something.
If she hasn't already. But, I don't know. There has to be something at some point where she learns how to control it, where she doesn't break her arms. Because otherwise, I'd just be like, don't use it. I wouldn't use it.
No, don't do it.
I wouldn't use it. I mean, after a while, you could totally tell she's in pain, but she's learned to ignore it, basically.
Mm-hmm.
She's not doing a very good job of ignoring it.
Not right now, no.
Especially in her conversation with Gabe. Gabe? Yeah. She was curt. Like, it wasn't her usual speech patterns. You could tell.
Oh yeah, no. When she did that, she really hurt herself.
Yeah.
She really hurt herself. So.
Yeah.
They looked really nasty too. So yeah.
Oh yeah, they're not good at all.
I'm hoping they find something, for that, because, I mean, really, we have a few superpowered individuals, but she's the one front and center.
I don't know. It seems like she might be kind of rethinking the whole going back to the team thing.
Maybe.
I'll give it another few episodes. I have a feeling she'll be back on the team before
I think
winter
she's
break.
rethinking it. She's thinking of all the pros and cons. She's overthinking things.
Yeah, she sat down and she's making a pro and con list.
She's making a chart. Definitely.
I mean, I don't blame her for not going back. She doesn't want to register.
Right.
I don't blame her either.
And now that S.H.I.E.L.D's in the spotlight, I think that's even less of a good thing for her.
Yeah, but at the same time, she can't just be out there by herself.
Yeah, no, I know.
No, because then she's, a target for S.H.I.E.L.D. to bring in, basically. Because they're going to be enforcing the law.
She's in a no-win situation.
Yeah, they're going to be enforcing the law, and right now the law is must register. So is there anything that we missed for this episode? I think we covered it all. We got no ghosty shenanigans.
No, that's what I was shocked about, because we got,
But
all
we
this...
did understand that who his uncle is and why he's in jail and what he was before he went to jail.
Yes, we did get some of that. But other than that, no ghosty shenanigans. And I want more ghosty shenanigans.
I have a feeling it's coming up.
Yeah. I don't think they're really ghosts, but per se, as ghosts as we know it.
Yeah. No. Hey, who knows? It could just be like fragments of their souls floating around or something. They said they're bringing, supernatural stuff into this. And, not science-y.
I don't know. I think it is science-y.
I don't know. Anyway, the next episode is called Let Me Stand Next to Your Fire.
Okay.
As Ghost Rider's quest for vengeance brings him into an explosive confrontation with S.H.I.E.L.D., Coulson and Mac must rely on an unlikely ally in their time of desperate need. And Daisy reunites with a familiar face to stop the watchdogs. That's, a heaping helping of vague with a side order of vague.
What'd you expect?
I didn't order this vague.
Hey, look, it's not as vague as Game of Thrones synopsises, which are 10 words long. What was the one for this season? It was the North remembers. Oh, no, the North is reminded. That was it.
Reminded of what?
Really? The North is reminded of what? They're reminded that they left the oven on? I mean...
Probably.
No, Dom, they're not bringing Sam and Dean into this.
Oh, get out.
You can see yourself out right now.
They can bring Sam and Dean into the Flash because multiverse stuff and it's a CW show and
Don't ruin the Flash.
Don't do that to her.
But it's just he runs by and they're both eating lunch at a picnic table, in front of the Impala. That's it. That's them in Flash.
That's fine.
Is there anything else you guys want to talk about?
Well, I'm just curious of how this person's been kept in this cryogenic state, really, basically, in the stone state for as long as he has been.
I'm thinking either transformation gone bad, or she figured out that he was a way to stop the transformation midway happening.
He's cooking still.
He's cooking in there, and that's why she's talking to him. Because
I wonder if he can hear her, if he's actually still alive, and you wonder if he can't hear her.
Either that, or his power is something so... Maybe that's his power. He can turn into a statue, and he just hasn't figured out how to shut it off.
That would be horrible. That'd be a horrible.
I don't know. We don't know. It's just okay, here's the husk statue man, and she's talking to it.
Wasn't that in Super Mario Brother or something like that? You could turn into a statue.
Yes, in Super Mario 3. I forget which suit it was. It was the Tanuki suit, I think.
Oh my god.
Anyway, that's our show.
It's a horrible, horrible.
It is horrible. Clio, where can they find you?
They can find me at Clio Moto. Now, like Jacob in chat just did his whole outro.
Yeah. Rachel, where can they find you?
You can find me at Twitter at Savannah17 and on Twitch at Savannah, where hopefully I'll be finishing the Corpse Bride costumes and knock on wood.
Normally filling our fourth box is Jacob, who wasn't here due to work issues, but you can find Jake on, my god, I cannot read it in, I'm sorry Jake, I'll butcher it. You can find him on To Nowhere Land at Twitter. He has a whole song and dance for it.
I've never seen him dance, but okay. Do it. Make up a dance for it.
He has a very epic rhyme that makes me feel inadequate. You can find me on Twitter at Philodrin, right here. You can find all of us on Facebook, Twitter, Gmail, Google+, MySpace, and YouTube at ASOTV Podcast. You can follow us at all those places for some more podcasts for some of your favorite TV shows, movies, and games. I did it.
You did it.
Thank you all for watching. Have a lovely night.
Bye-bye.
I did it. I did it.
I'm so tired.
So am I.
That's so Dora of you.